Tanashi! 5! Unite and serve the sixth heavenly deity, Lord Joker!
What is up, YouTube? This is Nanashi, back with another Weiss Schwarz deck profile video. This time I'll be showing you the changes and updates to my green Batman Ninja Villains deck. There weren't a tremendous number of changes or updates that I could make to this build because the diversity of these cards leaves a lot to be desired based on how many ones are in here that are any good. But that being said, after taking a lot of advice, I did find some improved techs that make this deck a little bit better and give it a bit more diverse options, because relying exclusively on the Joker Balloon finishing combo is not as reliable as I first made it out to be. But you'll see what I mean when we take a closer look. Starting off with the level 0 array, we have 3 copies of Deathstroke. When he attacks, he gives another character an extra 1000 power times its soul, which means that this character has playability beyond level 0. I am still playing my 4 copies of Harley Quinn. When another character declares an attack while she's already on stage, she gains 1000 power until the end of the turn for every attack. But her main ability is that when she's played, by paying 1 stock and placing the top card of your deck into your clock, you can take any cost 0 or lower villain character whose level is equal to or less than yours from your deck and place it on stage in any position you like. I am still playing a pair of Joker Happy-Go-Lucky though, because by paying a stock and discarding a card, it searches any villain out of your deck to your hand. And I am still playing a pair of Joker Jokes on You, who by discarding a Climax when you first play him, lets you retrieve any character from your waiting room to your hand. I'm also now playing 3 copies of Joker Primal Pleasures. Ew. He can't side attack because he's a beefy 3000 power, and he can get a little bit stronger. When he's played, by milling 2 cards off the top of your deck, he gains 1000 power for every villain character you reveal. And I'm only playing 3 copies of Poison Ivy Castle now, because 4 was just a little bit overkill for a character that never leaves the back row, and even in just the level 0 line, I have plenty of ways of putting it in my hand. It gives a character in the front and center 1000 power during my turn, and it's a Brainstormer that can retrieve any character from my waiting room to my hand. Next we have the level 1 array, starting off with a pair of Harley Quinn Partner in Crime. Yes, I am expanding the red splash just a little bit, but it's mostly just for this character. See, when she declares an attack, she gives another character 1500 power, and if she battles and loses to a level 1 character, she reverses that character as well, making her a suicider. But I am still playing my playset of Joker the Final Showdown. He gains 1500 power when a Climax is played, putting him to 6 grand, and he has a Climax combo that allows me to retrieve any character from my waiting room to my hand if he reverses a character in battle. And he even gives another character 1000 power afterwards. Then we get to what I consider to be my favorite card out of the entire deck, Penguin Castle at 4. When he's put in the front right position of your stage, he gains 3000 power. His other ability is why I love him so much though. During any character's attack, if you reveal a gold bar Climax, which is just what I call it, then by discarding 1 card, you can take any card in your clock, put it in your hand, and put the top card of your deck into your clock in its place. Next we move into the level 2 array. I have 3 copies of Deathstroke Castle, and I was playing 4, but due to some of the changes in my level 3 lineup, I felt cutting him down by 1 was absolutely warranted. He's still a great card though. If he's in the front left position of your stage, he gains 500 power for each of your other villain characters, putting him at 9 grand on his own, but during the turn he's played, he also gains 1000 power for each villain character you control until the end of the turn. And I do have 3 copies of Two-Face Castle, whom I'm actually debating on cutting down to 2, but I think 3 is perfectly fine in this build. While he's in the back left position, he gives all your other villains an extra 1000 power, and if you play a Climax while he's on stage, he gives 1 character you control an extra 1000 power for the turn. Next we have the level 3 array. First off, I have 3 copies of Joker. He's an early player if you have 2 or fewer Climaxes in your waiting room. He gains 1000 power for every villain in your back row, and when he is first played, you can reveal cards from the top of your deck up to the number of villain characters you controlled when you played him, take any 1 card among them, put it in your hand, and the rest go to the waiting room. I am still playing 3 copies of Joker Balloon because I realized that 4 was a little bit much. But when he's placed on stage from your hand, he lets you draw 2, discard 2, and then stock charge the top card off your deck. Then he has a Climax combo that requires you to pay 2 stock and put 1 villain character from your hand into your waiting room. But he does require you to control the other 4 castle characters as well. He deals 4 damage and then puts whatever character is in front of him, provided it's level 3 or lower, into your opponent's clock. And I am playing 3 copies of Two-Face. When he's placed on stage from your hand, you can heal 1 point of damage off the top of your clock, and he has an extra ability that's kinda like a secondary option for a win condition. See, when he attacks by paying 2 stock and discarding 1 card, you can look at the top card of your deck, and if it's a villain character, it deals damage to the opponent equal to that revealed character's soul, and then he gains 2,000 power until the end of the turn. And finally, we have the Climax layout. I'm still playing 4 copies each of Fusion of the Felons and Maniacal Feudal Lord. They're both essentially the exact same card. When you play them, the characters you control gain 1,000 power and a soul for a turn, but if you trigger it during an attack check, you can put the card itself in your hand and put the top card of your deck into your stock in its place. And that is the deck. I'd like to think that this build is a marked improvement over the old one. Yes, I did have to cut down the reliance just a little bit on the castle cards and their unique abilities, but the thing is, while I do enjoy and adore the castle cards themselves, they're not the only cards in the entire green array. There's plenty of fantastic cards among the villain characters in the Batman Ninja archetype, and I do think that by including a few more of them, I made this deck just a little bit better. I thank you guys for watching the deck profile video. If you can think of any ways that I can improve this almost all green build, feel free to let me know. In the meantime, this has been Nanashi, signing out.